Welcome to the Inspiring You Show. If we ever met, I'm Henry. So, my friends, we are going to be talking about the March energy forecast, theme number 2, releasing the past and embracing stillness as a gateway to transformation. Yet, before we get into that, let's just take a moment to arrive in this present moment. So, if you will, my friends, I invite you to find a comfortable position, either laying down or seated. Close your eyes, lower your gaze, and take 3 deep breaths. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. Following your breath in, following your breath out. Letting yourself arrive in this space, however it is. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. Letting yourself shift from your head to your heart. Letting go of any distractions or mental clutter. Simply bringing your awareness to your breath. Inhaling presence, surrender, deep restoration. Exhaling resistance, urgency, old stories. Letting go of any distractions, any tension in the body, and bringing your awareness inward. Stillness is an energy, not a lack of movement, but a gateway to transformation. So breathing in calm, surrender, presence. Breathing out tension, resistance, urgency. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Stillness is an energy. It's not an absence of movement, but a beneficial portal for deep transformation. So take another deep breath. And then let's invite Reiki energy healing in. If you wish to receive Reiki, you can say, yes, I'd like to receive Reiki for my highest good. If you don't, that's okay. Reiki always respects free will. Let yourself now imagine, sense, visualize a big knowingness of a beautiful light infused with Reiki energy healing, moving through you, around you, clearing, cleansing, releasing, rejuvenating, allowing the light to fill in the spaces for the highest good. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. Take another deep breath. All right, my friends, we're going to begin the talk. So let's begin. Okay, so we're going to be exploring the second theme of the March 2025 energy forecast. So it is one of the 9 themes, my friends, one of the 9 themes of the March energy forecast, designed to help you navigate the month with more clarity, support, presence, and alignment. If you're interested in the full energy forecast, you can head to my podcast, The Inspiring You Show, or on YouTube. It's a previous episode, and it offers a complete perspective. If you're listening right now, whether you're whatever platform on the live stream, on social media, the link is in the bio in the link tree area for the Inspiring You Show, whether it's YouTube or a podcast. And there is a ton of resources there as well. So as we are journeying into theme 2, releasing the past, embracing stillness as a beneficial gateway to transformation. So with that, then understanding that, March is a profound time for reflection, for release and healing. And the energy of stillness is calling us inward, not as stagnation, yet as a necessary pause that allows for deep transformation and also karmic clearing. There is karmic clearing that is coming up this month as well. And so, with that, then, oftentimes taking that time to explore the wisdom of stillness, why it is not stagnation, but yet an active, beneficial portal for growth. And maybe reframing how you look at stillness, because sometimes we can have resistance to stillness. So, really reframing in understanding and exploring the wisdom of stillness, why it's not stagnation, but an active, beneficial portal for growth, healing, and renewal. And also can be in preparation in how slowing down actually creates space for profound healing, integration, and alignment. So, my friends, we live in a world that oftentimes glorifies speed, productivity, and constant motion. Doing, 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 doing. And I have definitely been there. And so then what happens is we can become conditioned and taught that progress equals action. Progress means action. And that slowing down means falling behind or isn't beneficial or means you're not going to be able to keep up. And we are then conditioned to equate progress with movement, to believe that we are not doing if we're not doing something, we are falling behind. And that's actually not true, because oftentimes when we are in stillness and we're taking moments, we're allowing things to clear and integrate and wisdom to be downloaded, and so much more is happening. And so March, part of the energy forecast for March is calling us into a different rhythm and really reframing how one may be seeing it. So, stillness is not stagnation, it is preparation. Rest is not avoidance, it is deep integration. Rest is not inactivity, it is renewal. Slowing down is not losing momentum, it is creating alignment. And one of the other themes for the previous month was discernment. And so really learning to discern between, oh, I'm resting versus, oh, I'm caught, getting not wanting to do anything. I'm getting caught in being in freeze mode. There's a distinction and a discernment to make where sometimes the human isn't resting per se, but really caught in a resistant pattern and frozen. And so you have to discern between the two. And that's why using mindfulness and your self-realization tools can really support you, because you get to learn the difference in the harmony frequencies where you are. And so with that, then pausing may not be avoidance, it could be integration. And then this month, in terms of the cosmic energies coming in, Venus and Mercury retrograde are slowing our external world, while the Blood Moon Eclipse, which is on March 14th, happening this week, if you're listening right now, is amplifying release, helping us to shed outdated patterns, old identities, and emotional wounds we've carried too long. So, March is teaching us that growth happens in the pause. Before new beginnings emerge, we must allow space for healing, integration, and realignment. And so here is a reflection question for you. Where am I resisting stillness? Where am I resisting stillness? What might shift if I allowed myself to pause and surrender? Where am I resisting stillness? And you can also, too, as I'm asking this question, you can do a mindfulness scan. Is your body all of a sudden feeling like, ugh, ooh, like tense? You might have some resistance caught in your body when you hear the word stillness. And so you could ask that aspect of your body, is there any limited beliefs there? Are there any stuck emotions? Is there a belief that if I pause, if I'm in stillness, then, ooh, I'm behind? And your body has wisdom. Are there any family beliefs as well, or maybe some collective beliefs? I know for me, for many years, I worked in television. I was a producer, and literally the job is to produce. And so I had a whole to go to do. And even though I was doing this work, I was an energy practitioner learning all these, different modalities of energy practicing way before I became an official practitioner. I still was living in like a duality of like I'd step into my beingness mode. And then when I went into working on sets, I was then getting caught into doing mode. And it felt like I was being split. And so I had to really learn how to shift into beingness and then beneficially, when I'm being called to do in doingness, balance it and not just shift out of beingness. And that's part of we're here to learn, grow, and evolve. Your job is to take care of your human. That's when people are asking, like, what am I here to do? Well, you're one of the number one things you're here to do is be human. And I know that oftentimes, if you're on a spiritual path, you want to understand like what is really my potential I'm here to do. Well, your job is to be human. That is something significant. And so what are you doing in your humanness? How are you taking care of your human? So again, the reflection question is, where am I resisting stillness and what might shift if I allow myself to pause and surrender? And so if you do have a pattern and a habit of to doing, and so your relationship with rest and stillness feels uncomfortable, that's where sometimes the growth point is too, where you have to learn to move through like, oh, I'm creating a new habit, a new way of being. And I might feel a bit unsettled because I'm so used to going, 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 going. But again, if we're constantly going, 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 and we're in the noise of the external, we're not allowing ourselves to go inward to hear what's going on and to then integrate and download wisdom. So, what you learn in this theme as we continue exploring is why stillness is essential for deep transformation. And so many people, want, they want, how do I live in my potential? How do I transform? How do I have deep transformation? Well, one of the key elements is why stillness is essential for deep transformation. And then understanding the science and energetics behind it, beyond just slowing down, there's an energetic reset that happens. And then also, you'll learn how slowing down really accelerates healing and personal growth, how limiting beliefs about progress and productivity can create resistance to stillness, and then how to actually rewire them. How trauma and nervous system dysregulation makes stillness sometimes feel unsafe, and how to gently work with this, how to use trauma informed tools to support yourself in terms of resetting your nervous system and moving through. And if you do need a practitioner, I definitely recommend working with trauma informed practitioners. And then why embracing patience and presence can help you navigate this time with grace. Because oftentimes, we really want to get to the end result. Like, when am I going to heal? But sometimes it takes layers of transformation. And that's where you have to lean into patience and presence, being present and being okay with where you are in the experience. However, it is like, can you remain steady and grounded? Can you keep using your tools? And then we'll also talk about somatic practices, mindfulness techniques to release past emotional weight and embrace stillness. And then we'll talk about why rest, reflection, and integration are necessary really before moving forward. And then really then understanding that in doing all this, embracing patience, presence, it can help navigate the time with more clarity and ease. So, this isn't just about taking a break, it's about transforming the way we engage with the energies of rest, presence, and inner alignment. And really starting to reframe and shift and understand that there is power in stillness, the power of stillness, why it's not stagnation, but preparation. So, one of the greatest misconceptions about stillness is that it equals stagnation. I mean, would you tell that to the caterpillar who goes into the cocoon and comes out a butterfly? I mean, it's in a cocoon, and it is then in its own aspect, if you will, stillness, but then it comes out as a butterfly. So stillness is not passive. It is deeply active and an internal reordering. So I'm going to say that again. Stillness is not passive. It is deeply active in an internal reordering, much like the caterpillar going into the cocoon, becoming the butterfly. It's deeply active. It's an internal, and in this case, for the butterfly, it is a reordering. So, stillness is where we integrate change before taking aligned action. Stillness is where wisdom lands, where clarity arises, where healing happens. So here's another example. Imagine a seed buried underground, and from the outside, nothing seems to be happening. Yet beneath the surface, roots are forming, foundations are being built, and soon growth will break through the soil. In my own experience, currently, one of my neighbors is planting grass, and we have been on. We have been on grass watch, literally, and just watching, her out there watering and tending to the soil, and now little bits of grass are starting to come up. And so it's patience, it's in the stillness, it's in the process. So our personal growth works the same way. There are times for action, there are times for action, and there are times for rooting deeper, anchoring, and preparing for the next phase. And March is a time to trust this unseen process. Embracing stillness as a progress, like why slowing down leads to faster growth. Slowing down leads to faster transformation. When I worked as a television producer, I worked in reality TV for like over 20 years. We would do pre production, and then we would go into production and post production. Anytime we didn't have enough time for pre production, sometimes the production felt a bit chaotic, and then going into post-production, we didn't necessarily have all the elements we may have wanted, and we'd have to go and do reshoots. And so it's the same thing where it's like giving time to prepare for aligned movement. Why slowing down leads to faster growth, and taking that time for pre-production. And when I look at pre-production from that standpoint, for me, pre-production was really going inward at times and understanding, like, what are the elements, and living in that space before you're going into physical movement. There are other elements of pre-production in terms of the physical prep work, but I'm talking about one aspect. So March is not a time to force progress. It is a time to prepare for aligned movement. Rest is not a setback, it is a recalibration for your energy needs. So, rest is not a setback, it is the recalibration your energy needs to move forward. Especially if you're somebody who's highly sensitive, there's a lot going on in the world right now. And then if you are somebody who has gone through different natural disasters or something else that's happened personally, your system might need a recalibration even more so. So reflection is not avoidance, also it's integration. Oftentimes I'll hear like, "Oh, I don't want to do journal work or self-reflect." It's it's giving yourself the opportunity to take a moment with yourself and bring in awareness. If you have these intentions and these goals that you want and these dreams, take time to process and reflect. Or I see, on the other hand, people being in co-creation and talking about co-creation with the universe, or whatever language you use, manifestation with the universe. And then on the other end of it, they're like, but when it manifested or I co-created it, it's not exactly, wasn't exactly how I felt. Did you take time for the prep work, or were you in rush with it and into doing? Because if you're in rush with it, and you're not letting yourself actually take moments to reflect, to then understand what needs to be cleared and then what's being called in, and you're just rushing, then how you co-create with the universe can be a mirror of that. So reflection isn't avoidance, it's integration. And then stillness is not stopping, it's allowing the next step to reveal itself naturally. But if you have impatience with the process, you have to work with that, because then you could be trying to force something, And then it could then not feel great again if when it's called in, or you're not enjoying the process as well in terms of your humaning. So you have to work with your emotional body, your mental body, your physical body, clear anything from your energy field. As an energy alchemist, you have to check into where you are in your vibrational frequency. So stillness is not stopping. It's allowing the next step to reveal itself naturally. So here, consider this. Have you ever noticed that when you stop looking for an answer, it suddenly appears? So have you ever noticed that when you stop looking for an answer, it suddenly appears? This is the power of stillness. This is the power of going within. When we force, we create resistance. When we pause, we create space for insight. So again, when we force, we create resistance. When we pause, we create space for insight. When I worked in television and we were, workshopping, how to solve a production problem and challenge, and workshopping, the problem, oftentimes I would take time to step away. I would go into meditation. I would go do a walk. I would walk away from it because, again, this is the power of stillness. When you stop looking for the answer, it suddenly appears. Or I would set an intention before I went to bed, and I would just ask for whatever's the most beneficial way to problem solve. Or if there's an answer that we haven't been able to see, please expand and drop it in for the highest good. And oftentimes I would wake up the next day with like, oh, okay, this is how we can possibly do it. And, and then we would do it. And it was like, oh, wow. Because when you stop looking for the answer, it suddenly can appear. Because when we force, we create resistance. When we pause, we create space for insight. So are you creating space for insight? Are you creating space for insight? And that is really where the transformative power of stillness can come in. Stillness isn't just about absence of motion. It is a profound energetic reset that creates space for deep transformation and can call in, answers that you've been seeking. By pausing, we allow our systems, physical, emotional, mental, energetic, to recalibrate. Scientifically, stillness activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes healing and reduces stress. Energetically, it is a sacred pause, enabling us to shed old frequencies and attune to new transformative energies. So, slowing down paradoxically accelerates growth by allowing us to integrate past lessons fully before stepping forward. We are here to learn, grow, and evolve. So, for those, though, with a history of trauma, sometimes stillness can feel unsafe because it might bring up suppressed emotions or memories. The nervous system, when dysregulated, associates or can associate stillness with vulnerability. So, gently working with this requires compassion, trauma informed practices such as grounding exercises, somatic touch, also like holding your own heart, hand on your heart, or if you can work with the breath. Sometimes if you've had real traumatic responses, you may not be able to work with the breath right away. You might have to use touch point. But if you can work with the breath, pacing breath can help create a sense of safety in stillness, allowing the nervous system to gradually trust the pause because you're coming back into safety. I would also recommend doing energy work. When I had work PTSD from working in television, uh, energy work was definitely one of my go-tos in terms of my own healing, specifically dowsing energy healing. So, and then also with meditation, I was able to do chanting meditation. That really helped a lot. So, recognizing stillness can be beneficial, yet also understanding where you are in your healing experience. So, recognizing too, though, you know, resistance to stillness, because then how trauma and conditioning can play a role. So, for many, slowing down can feel deeply uncomfortable, even unsafe. And so, let's just break this down. This discomfort can stem from cultural and societal conditioning. We live in a hyper productive world that can equate stillness with often, sometimes, even laziness. Or maybe you've had a lot of disappointments in experiences where you've tried, and now there might be a trauma response that, if I try, I might be just disappointed. So I'm not even going to try. And there might be like a frozen space that you're in. Many have been taught that self worth is tied to how much we achieve. How much are we producing? How are we doing in that way? So when we pause, we may feel guilty or anxiety. And so that's why you have to clear the non beneficial cultural and societal conditioning, and also clear any beliefs that are affecting you. And then looking at the nervous system dysregulation. If your nervous system is stuck in that fight, flight, freeze, fawn, stillness may feel threatening. So you may notice anxious energy when trying to rest, difficulty staying present in meditation, feeling like you should be doing something, a tendency to numb out or avoid sitting with your emotions. I noticed that when I exited working in television and I had work PTSD, I had disassociated pretty hard on a set when there was a producer who was going through a difficult time and went on a verbal rampage that, they hadn't slept in days, and so it ended up causing just a lot of trauma for that person who went through it, as well as people on set. And for me, I actually disassociated because it was so painful, to not only feel as an intuitive empath, to feel what that person was going through, but then also the entire set, and then also my own experience. So I disassociated pretty hard. And so then healing that nervous system dysregulation, for me, I was in kind of a frozen mode. And yet I also was in a to doing where I'd been working. And so I found it anytime I sat down, I felt jittery, like I needed to go. And I had to really work with that jittery feeling where it's like, I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to be doing anything. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. And I actually use the word I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. So for me, affirmations work really well. And then I also did a lot of chanting meditation. I would turn on Reiki before, layering in the tools, and then the chanting meditations would help me in terms of, re-regulating my nervous system. And the energy work would also support too, clearing out the non-beneficial energies, frequencies, and helping me reground, realign. And but I remember just sitting like where I should be doing something, and that jittery feeling of like needing to go, because I was so caught in a to go pattern of go, 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 go. Because working in television as a producer at that time, often we were working 7 days a week, sometimes 12 to 18 hours. And you become so conditioned to go, 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 go. And then on top of that, having, trauma, work PTSD, it was really like an interesting, like, wow. And I did have tools, but working with my human, I just remember, okay, I can do this. I can sit and I can do this meditation. It's going to help me. I'm okay. I'm okay. And then I would turn on Reiki and do the meditation, and it was hard. It was hard to there's a lot of layers of healing that was being called in, but ultimately my determination to heal was so much stronger than the discomfort. I wanted to heal, and I recognized that moving through that discomfort was a way for me to get to the healing. And so slowing down can feel deeply uncomfortable and even unsafe. And so if you don't have the tools, I definitely recommend working with a trauma informed practitioner, finding trauma informed groups and only if you feel okay to do this work solo, um then do it. But otherwise, find groups that can support you or practitioners that can support you. But you can shift it though. You can absolutely heal and you can shift it. And so, unprocessed trauma and emotional suppression, stillness brings these things to the surface. So, if you have old grief, fear, or suppressed anger, you may resist quiet moments because they force you to feel. And if you feel uncomfortable about feeling, then that's another part of it why just having a practitioner to support you to have a compassionate, safe space to support teaching you how to be with these experiences and these emotions to process. Because stillness brings these things to surface because you're not going. These things are now allowed to come to surface. And so if you have old grief, fear, suppressed anger, you might resist quiet moments because they force you to feel. The thing is, though, if these emotions just stay stuck and trapped emotions, they can cause different challenges to your human in different ways. So you could create trapped emotions can create heart walls, which then, if you really want to connect with somebody from your heart, and you feel like, why am I not getting into connections that feel really connected? You could have trapped emotions that created a heart wall that then was beneficial at one point, but now has become where it's blocking you from the very thing that you want. And that's why doing the work can support you. So then breaking free from limited beliefs. So cultural narratives can often equate productivity with worth, creating resistance to rest. And so this resistance can manifest then also as guilt, anxiety, or an urge to do more, which then can create guilt if you feel like you haven't done enough in one day. And so to rewire these beliefs, this is where using the different tools. Mindfulness practices can really support you in terms of bringing the mental body into presence with the physical body to be able to be in presence. Also, affirmation work can help, energy work can help, journaling. There's a lot of different tools that can help you, but essentially learning to reframe rest as necessary and beneficially productive act can really support you. So, for instance, shifting from rest is laziness to rest is a powerful act of self alignment and renewal that can dissolve internal resistance. So, once again, if you have a limited belief of rest is laziness, shifting it to rest is a powerful act of self alignment and renewal and can dissolve internal resistance. So, here are some other limited beliefs about rest and progress. Check in to see what your beliefs are. Do you believe that if I slow down, I'll fall behind? Do you believe that? If I slow down, I'll fall behind. Here's another one. If I don't keep pushing, nothing will change. If I don't keep pushing, nothing will change. Here's another one. Resting means I'm weak or unproductive. Resting means I'm weak or unproductive. Some months ago, someone in one of my private sessions actually said that resting means I'm weak or unproductive. And they were pushing themselves so hard that it was causing them to get physically sick. And that's where then, if your body isn't healthy, how are you going to be doing these things? And then if you're sick, you're definitely not allowing yourself time to rest and heal because you feel like you can't rest because you're weak then and it's unproductive. But how are you then going to heal? So that's where it's like, ooh, you know. And then so many people too, I've noticed as I've done private practice in all these years that there's a resistance, and even when they get they get a flu or cold, like, I can't rest. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. Take a few days off and let the body heal. But if you have a limited belief of resting means I'm weak or unproductive, it can be really challenging for the body to actually, um, for yourself to really let yourself rest. So these deeply ingrained beliefs can keep us in a state of resistance to stillness, preventing us from actually accessing its transformational power and its healing abilities. So, once again, then embracing patience and presence. Patience and presence are like anchors in turbulent waters. They tether us to the moment, teaching us to navigate uncertainty with grace. Doesn't mean that we're not going to feel uncomfortable. It just allows us to navigate that with more grace. And by practicing presence through focused meditation, mindfulness observation, through energy work, somatic tools, whatever tools, we cultivate a deeper trust in the process of life, allowing time for integration and clarity to emerge naturally. And then with that, allowing yourself also to process emotions, release burdens, and releasing emotional weight. So, energy work, mindfulness, whether you're in therapy or doing somatic practices or movement, breath work, gentle stretches, whatever the case is, yoga allows to release stored emotions from the body. Energy work, mindfulness techniques, compassionate self inquiry tools, body scans, they can help bring awareness to where emotions might be physically held. And through these practices, we create space for stillness, which then can free us of past burdens, process the emotions, and then clear the emotions, download the wisdom, and then they can come to completion. And then with that, then you have a space because you've processed what has been there. And then that's when then the integration happens, where then you can really shift. So integration before progress, rest, reflection, and integration are necessary phases in any growth cycle. Like the pause between inhaling and exhaling, these moments of stillness are where transformation consolidates. Without them, we risk carrying unresolved energy forward, creating patterns of imbalance in our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, our spiritual bodies. So that's why then using the tools, I layer tools, using the tools can really be supportive. And then also, whether or not you believe it or not, just becoming more curious about like the cosmic energies coming in and how they can be possibly helping us and supporting us. But you as a human, you have free will. So whether or not you choose to allow yourself to receive the beneficial aspects or not, that's up to you. So releasing the past. So, on March 14th, the Blood Moon Eclipse in Virgo acts as an energetic catalyst, illuminating what is being called to be released to move forward. So there's an emotional clearing happening. And eclipses are beneficial portals. They accelerate growth, push us out of stagnation, and bring subconscious patterns into awareness. So that's why, too, making sure when you hear these things, then making sure like, oh, I'm going to really roll up my sleeves and do some tool work this week, because the more that you practice daily, the more it's going to help you, as opposed to when the energies are coming in strong. Ooh, then on the day of, it will feel like there's like a huge vacuum trying to clear you out. Whereas if you're doing it bit by bit, it feels less overwhelming. Doesn't mean that it's not going to have moments of feeling uncomfortable, because when the cosmic energies are coming in, they're coming in powerful to support us to awaken, to realize, to then having these things cleared that sometimes feels like you're clearing out just really hard aspects like concrete that have just been there maybe for generations, or through the collective for eons, and now it's just really hardened energy that's being called to be cleared, so that way a shift can happen. So this eclipse then this week on March 14th, or whenever you're listening to this, is revealing where we've been holding on to emotional weight, old wounds, regrets, and self judgments that need to be cleared, unconscious fears of slowing down, resting, or receiving. Because that's the other thing, too, is receiving. When you are going, 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 you're also probably pushing energy that way, going, 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 but you're not letting yourself just have a moment to physically receive. And so giving and receiving is, the same energy, a circle energy. But if you're only on one half of it, you're not letting yourself receive. So you might be imbalanced with your ability for giving and receiving, specifically receiving. So you might have this eclipse is revealing unconscious fears of slowing down, resting, or receiving. This is a time for deep release. Rather than fearing what surfaces, see it as an invitation. It's an invitation. You're getting an invitation to a dynamic party, a party that can be life changing, a party that can truly be transforming. It is an invitation. Are you going to say yay for that invitation, or are you going to say nay? You have free will. It's up to you. So here's a reflection. What beliefs, emotions, or past attachments am I still carrying that no longer support me? What beliefs, emotions, or past attachments am I still carrying that no longer support me? So take a moment. And then how to work with stillness. So you can do somatic and mindfulness practices. You can do breath work for nervous system, regulation if breath work feels okay for you. Like I said, sometimes if you're in a trauma response, breath work may not feel fully safe for you. And so you may need to do touch point. So just check in. Um, and so we're actually going to do a breathwork technique where it is the 4-4-6 breathing technique. You can also do different counts too. Some people do different counts. This is just the count that I do. But we're going to turn on Reiki first. I know that we already did in the beginning, but we're just going to actively do this. Close your eyes, lower your gaze, and take a nice deep breath. And we're just going to invite Reiki energy healing in. If you wish to receive Reiki, you can say, yes, I like to receive Reiki for my highest good. Letting yourself receive that Reiki, letting the light clear, cleanse, release, rejuvenate, reharmonizing, allowing the light to fill in the spaces for the highest good. And then we're going to do the breathing technique. So we're going to inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale slowly for 6 counts. And so this is going to signal safety to the nervous system, making stillness more accessible. And with each exhale, you want to imagine, sense, visualize tension dissolving, leaving space for relaxation and clarity. And then on the in-breath, allowing the light to fill in the spaces for the highest good. So inhale for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out now for 6 counts slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, breathe in for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath now for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now breathe out for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more time. Breathe in for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's let go of the practice now. And then just take a moment to allow, if you're wanting to receive the Reiki, allowing the Reiki to move through you, around you, this light to move through you, around you, regrounding, realigning, shifting if it's beneficial for you from 3D, 5D or higher, letting the light fill in the spaces for the highest good. All right, we're going to let go of the practice now. So that is a practice though that you can do anytime. And the more that you obviously practice it, the more I can support you. And if it felt a little bit challenging at first, it's something new that might be new to you. And you're in a growth point where you're learning how to do something. And so then you just have to continue working with it. And the more you do it, then the easier it does become because you have practice with it. But it doesn't mean it's always going to be easy per se, because there might be something being cleared from your body and your body might be shifting. And so that's why, too, if you have a great meditation where like that felt amazing, and then the next time you do it, you're like, oh, wait, why was that more difficult this time? Well, you might have more tension and stress that you're releasing. You might, there's a lot of factors in it. And just know that every moment, every meditation, is just bringing to you what you need in that time for the highest good. Also, then how to work with stillness, continuing with somatic mindfulness practices, and then just energetic work. I recommend doing Reiki and dowsing energy sessions, or whatever energy modality or however you do it. That can really support you. Oftentimes, I'll have people come into sessions and they'll have felt like, wow, I had a lot of just ruminating thoughts before the session. And then I went to complete stillness and felt such peace and it felt amazing. I don't have those negative thoughts running around. I find that energy work to be oftentimes really efficient with helping shifting, but that's, me and, many of my clients. But for you, it might be different. So check in to see what will work for you. Also, I have a lot of energy healing meditations up on my podcast, The Inspiring You Show, or also on YouTube. So I will say though, on YouTube currently, I'm a newer, I've been doing YouTube for maybe, I don't know, maybe a year or so, like consistently, whereas my podcast has been up for years and it's in like 70 countries or so. Um, but on YouTube, I'm not there yet with all the hours listened to. So there are currently ads in some of the meditations that I just don't have any choice over, because I'm not in the creator program yet, because I don't have enough hours listened to yet. But I'm building there and I'm getting there. And but if you are on YouTube in the premium, then there won't be any ads, obviously. However, I would appreciate though if you do use YouTube to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you can listen to any of the talks on there, or if you want to listen to meditations, I'd appreciate that, because then it allows me to then eventually have enough people and hours listened that eventually I will be able to then have an opportunity to regulate where the ads are going in front or in back, and not have the meditations be disrupted. So I'd really appreciate that if you do use YouTube. Okay, so also then what can happen is, some of the tools are the softening practice, where this is the somatic tool, the softening practice. If you feel tightness or resistance, or it's actually a mindfulness tool as well. It's a mindfulness somatic tool. So the softening practice is, if you feel tightness or resistance, you scan your body and you gently ask, what am I bracing against? Where am I holding tension? And then you breathe into that space, soften and allow. And again, I personally would layer Reiki in there to support Reiki clearing as well. So again, here's the softening practice. So let's practice it. Let yourself scan your physical body. And then if you feel tightness or resistance, ask gently, what am I bracing against? Where am I holding tension? And then you find a spot. I'd ask Reiki to be sent to that spot, or wherever the problem originates from. And then breathe into that space, soften and allow. And you can breathe into that space like 3 times. And then that's the practice. So you can also do that practice. Another practice is journaling to unravel limiting beliefs. So here's a prompt. What do I believe about stillness and rest? And where do these beliefs come from? So again, what do I believe about stillness and rest? And where do these beliefs come from? I will put all the journal questions and also intentions and affirmations into the show notes. So, what you want to do though is unravel the limiting beliefs and then also you want to challenge them. Are they really true? And then rewrite them. Choose your new truths, reframe, choose your new truths. And then another tool for integration and support is grounding through slow movement. So try slow walking, mindfulness walking, Tai Chi, yoga, body awareness exercises, somatic to integrate stillness into your daily life. Because that can really help you then embody stillness by doing these aspects. And so then here are some intentions and affirmations for this energy theme for stillness. You can repeat after me if these resonate with you. I trust that stillness is guiding me toward my highest path. I trust that stillness is guiding me toward my highest path. I release urgency and allow things to unfold in divine timing. I release urgency and allow things to unfold in divine timing. I'm worthy of rest, ease, and inner peace. I'm worthy of rest, ease, and inner peace. I embrace slowness as a sacred act of transformation. I embrace slowness as a sacred act of transformation. So use those intentions and affirmations to support you, not only retraining the brain, reframing, creating new neural pathways, yet also planting seeds for intentions. So I will put them in the show notes as well to support. And so then, just to kind of talk a little bit more about the astrological influence, the cosmic energies, and the energy theme connection. Venus and Mercury retrograde is encouraging inner reflection, slowing external progress, which is going within the energy theme of stillness. The Blood Moon Eclipse, which we talked about March 14th, is illuminating karmic cycles, pushing us to release, amplifies release, clearing past wounds and outdated patterns. And oftentimes to do this, we have to slow down. The Sun conjunct Neptune, March 19th, is enhancing intuition, guiding heart centered choices. Venus star point in Aries, March 22nd, breakthroughs in self worth, healing relational wounds. Venus conjunct Neptune, March 26th, dissolving illusions, deepening trust and intuition. So that is this energy theme forecast broken down. And if you would like the whole energy theme forecast, it is already up there on the Inspiring You Show podcast or on YouTube. I've already done another one of the energy themes broken down, and I will continue doing the rest. So the difference between the entire theme forecast versus just doing it broken down is I put in more tools for each energy theme and talk about the integration and also do mini energy work and meditations as well to support you. All right, let's do a closing meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes, lower your gaze, and take a nice deep breath. All right. So now imagine, sense, visualize a being knowingness that you're standing in a forest at dawn. You're in a forest at dawn, and everything is still and quiet. Everything is still and quiet in the forest. Feel the earth beneath your feet, steady, unwavering. Feel the earth. Feel the groundedness, the connection, the support from Mother Earth, the love, the care. With each inhale, you're drawing in clarity, patience, trust, groundedness. With each exhale, you release urgency, fear, resistance, breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. Feeling that connection to Mother Earth. You're standing in a forest at dawn. Everything is still and quiet. Let yourself go into the stillness of the forest at dawn. Everything is still and quiet. And then let yourself feel that light, that Reiki light moving through your body, gently dissolving any other tension, resistance, heaviness. Feel it clearing, realigning your energy, restoring harmony within. As you continue to stand in the forest at dawn, everything is still and quiet, feeling the energy beneath your feet steady, unwavering. Breathing in the life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. And now, if these resonate with you, silently affirm, I welcome stillness as a sacred space for healing. I welcome stillness as a sacred space for healing. I trust in the timing of my transformation. I trust in the timing of my transformation. I release all that no longer aligns with my highest good. I release all that no longer aligns with my highest good. I am safe, supported, and exactly where I need to be. I am safe, supported, and exactly where I need to be. I trust the wisdom of stillness. I trust the wisdom of stillness. I surrender what is no longer mine to carry. I surrender what is no longer mine to carry. I allow transformation to unfold in its own divine timing. I allow transformation to unfold in its own divine timing. I trust the wisdom of stillness. I trust the wisdom of stillness. Take another deep breath. A nice cleansing breath. And then before we fully come back and finish, let's just break the links. So if you wish, you can repeat after me if it resonates with you. I asked to break the links with this mindfulness talk. I asked to break the Reiki links to this session. I asked to break the links, leaving only harmony and balance at either ends. I asked to clear any residual energies being held in my body as a result of these links. I ask the light to fill the void, cells, rejuvenates, refreshes, revitalizes for the highest good with ease and grace and gratitude. And I ask the healing to be sealed with love and light. I ask the healing to be sealed with love and light. I ask the healing to be sealed with love and light. And so it is. So it is, my friends. With that, open your eyes. Welcome back. You can move your body, feeling grounded and refreshed, bringing your awareness fully back to this present moment. You are so loved, my friends. You are loved. You are supported. You are held with compassion. So, as we are finishing up, just remember March is a time of profound recalibration. By embracing stillness, we allow transformation to unfold naturally, without force, without resistance. So, this month, honor the stillness, trust the process, and know that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You're not falling behind, you are preparing for something greater. So, continue to imagine, sense, visualize that warm golden light moving through you, around you. This is the energy of healing, renewal, and peace. The light carries the highest frequencies of love, balance, and release, and it's here to support you in this moment of transformation for your highest good. And with that, here is the final Reiki blessing for this episode. May you be blessed with clarity as you navigate this time of release and renewal. May you feel supported in moments of stillness, trusting that healing is unfolding in perfect timing. May you be free from outdated patterns, stories, and attachments that no longer support your highest path. May your body be at ease, your heart open, and your mind at peace. And may you fully embrace the spaciousness of this moment, knowing that transformation is happening within you, even in the quietest of times. So that is it for now. We are complete. There will be more journal questions on the Inspiring You Patreon. And so that will be available for everyone. That's the free component. So you can head over there. There's going to be a ton of journal questions. And I'll also put all the intentions and affirmations as well. So, with that, my friends, much, much love. Until soon, and stay inspired, my friends.